students from 8 Southern California colleges and universities came together at the University of California, Irvine to face off for the second annual Intercollegiate Computer Games Showcase. From an initial pool of more than 30 submissions, reviewers identified the top 10 who were each given 10 minutes to showcase their games and answer questions from a panel of judges that included internationally renowned developers from the makers of some of today's most popular video games.
We look for creativity and originality. Is it, is this a new concept, or is this something I've seen 1,000 times before? And then ultimately I look whether they can execute it. Does the team seem like there's someone that can take these kind of rough concepts and take them through to completion?
Thank you all for having us as some of the finalists for IEEE GameSig. It's an honor to be here.
Thanks for having us. We are the Rough Team.
We're Gravity Shift, and it's a puzzle platformer type situation. And you solve puzzles, basically.
Well, when I'm judging a contest, I really look at, is it a whole package? Because ultimately that's what a game is. It's a whole package that someone's going to go buy and they want to enjoy. So it needs to have the whole thing. It needs to have gameplay and art and audio and design and levels and all those things. And so when a game has that, that's really what kind of puts it up in my expectation for it.
We're very pleased to have you all for the second annual IEEE GameSig Intercollegiate Game Showcase. And I'm sure you'll see 10 really wonderful games over the next two and a half hours.
The first game is called Bliss.
So the game is about a man who deals with the troubles in his life in a very abstract and philosophical way.
For student developers, the showcase presents a huge opportunity to get noticed and to see how their work compares to others looking to get into this dynamic multi-billion-dollar field.
I'm here with Team Astro guys, and this is our game Momentous. That's mostly the whole game is collecting resources, then bringing them back to the planet. But that's more complicated than it seems.
And with the rise of the touchscreen device, players' fingers have become swords that can cut fruit. They've become really irritated birds, and all sorts of other things. With lightning that you pull from the sky, you can actually activate switches and levers that are on the ground.
So you'll see that the engineer gave it to our background artist, and our background artist rendered over it.
It comes to your ability to be discovered somehow, some way. And so these contests are good because it gives you a chance to show what you can do to some qualified people and get recognized, and then to use that as a platform to play off of that and turn it into something.
All right, so show of hands, how many people like RPGs and leveling up, just in period? That's a lot of you. Ever wonder why your character doesn't know that there's experience in the world himself? We thought it was strange too. So we came up with the game The Device, which is a very quirky, self-aware RPG wave-based survival game. So that all sounds kind of strange, but the goal of the game is the evil king here has fought a war against the monster kind to win over all the experience in the land. Because, he wants to level up. He wants to be on top of the leaderboard there. So the evil king has gotten all the experience, and now the experience is gone from the land. And so your character makes a device, the name of our game, deliberately, and it makes experience. Of course, this, grabs the king's attention, and he chases you with all of his king's knights into the monster-controlled maps.
Your goal is to defend the plot device at all costs. Attack monsters and use items like mines and vortexes to help you in your quest. But if things get too hairy, you always have your panic button. Well, at least 3 charges.
I'm with the VGDC at UCI, and this team for the device was started here in this club. We met together at a game jam, which is a short iteration. It was a week-long game jam where we crammed and crammed and crammed to get the game ready for that thing, and we all liked the process so much that we said, let's do another game.
Well, it's great to see today at the GameCon, it was the enthusiasm of all the students and how much effort they've really put into these games. And, I can really see that a lot of these games that they've made, with a few more months and more time and things like that, and especially because of their enthusiasm, are going to be great games that people are going to love to play.
Last year's winning teams have already gone on to successful Kickstarter campaigns to help take their games to the next level.
The biggest thing that happened for us last year is after we graduated from Chapman, we founded our business, a game and app studio, and from that we got Kickstarter funding. It was a lot of work. We put in a lot of prep time. We put in a lot of work into our video and making sure we had a great prototype before we launched the Kickstarter. But yeah, so over the course of the month, we had about 303 backers, and we raised just over $20,000.
We have a website that you can go to. Well, the GameSig has a website. I assume you found it, gamesig.org. Or you can join the IEEE. We have a website for the Orange County IEEE that you can go to. It is IEEE-OC.org. I tried to make it easy for you to remember. IEEE-OC.org.
There were a range of awards at this year's event, including Best Space-Themed Game, which went to Team Astro Guys from UC Irvine and Brea Olinda High School for Momentous.
The most realistic space game that I've seen in a while goes to Momentous.
And Best Sound and Music, which went to Bliss by developer Marcus Oimark from Stockholm University and artist Philip Zhang of Laguna College of Art and Design. Top honors were awarded to Jose Siqueiros and Jerome Ward of Westwood College for Dark Edge Night for third place, Team Astro Guys with Momentous for second place, and first place went to The Device by a team from UC Irvine, Irvine Valley College, and Orange Coast College.
We have fantastic chemistry in our group, and you know, we would meet together. It was hard to get people working on the project because, you know, we just would go on with ideas, and we just loved each other's company. Everyone, you know, would rely on each other. You know, we had programmers working with artists and artists working with writers, and everybody just really contributed all the ideas possible to this game. So.
About 10 years ago, it was the dark ages for being a developer. You know, there wasn't a lot of opportunity. There was no Flash game websites, there wasn't Steam, there wasn't digital distribution, there wasn't the iPhone or the iPad, there was none of those things. And so that's obviously big in play now. So there's a lot of opportunity for both mid-sized companies, and we're a company, 25 people. We're not a large company, but we're mid-sized compared to the kind of the 3 people. And then you put Kickstarter on top of it, where you can do crowdfunding and get money directly from the consumers to help you fund your dream. You put those two together, that's just something that didn't happen before.
The showcase ended with a game demo and job fair at which prospective game developers were encouraged to bring their resumes and rub elbows with industry players.
Momentum plays a lot about in space, and then we wanted to put in some realism about the mechanics. So we have your hull integrity and your fuel, so you have to play around with this, and also we wanted to make the game feel very exploration oriented.
All members of the winning teams were given 1-year memberships in the IEEE Computer Society, as well as 500 gigabyte hard drives from Western Digital. Next year's Intercollegiate Games Showcase will be held at Cal State University Fullerton. To keep up on submission deadlines, visit the IEEE GameSig website at www.gamesig.org.